Alrighty, so today we are sitting down to do another review. Today we're going to talk about a video game, and that's a little bit of a change to the channel. Just as far as all the videos I've uploaded thus far have been about movies or a couple of TV shows, but I intend to also do video games. It's just that I feel like I can't really talk about a game in this way where I'm going to just quickly give my likes and dislikes without actually playing through the whole game, which nowadays, depending on the game, could take you anywhere from 20 to 80 hours, or in something like I'm playing right now, Starfield. I don't know if I will be able to tell you about it for multiple months because the amount of content in there, I'm sure it's going to take me like 300 hours to even get a good feel for how I feel the game compares to other games. So, with all that in mind, today I've come to talk to you about this game, Evil West, that came out a couple months ago. Honestly, it came out when I was still living in Indianapolis. Not going to tell you where I'm living now as to dox myself, but so just saying that, it was at least almost 6 months plus ago. Actually, I think it came out around the exact, if not at the exact same, I have it downstairs, but at the exact same time as God of War Ragnarok, which I've also played that game and I can tell you about that game, but personally, I don't want to talk about that game on camera until I platinum it, but just don't think I really have the right. But anyway, why am I here talking to you guys about Evil West? The reason why is because while I bought this game initially as just a goof because I saw that it was Steam Deck verified, and I actually originally played it on my Steam Deck. The reason why, so saying that, you've seen I've just showed you that I have it for PS5, so that should be an even weirder sort of thing, like, oh, you just bought it on a goof, but you bought it twice, why would you? And the reason why is that I was pleasantly surprised by this game, and I echo some of the reviews I've seen online, but I will get into that a little bit. But anyway, this game is about a guy who is a part of a group of people that hunt down vampires and werewolves and all sorts of things like that. And the reason why, well, I guess it's mainly vampires though, to be honest with you. And the setting is kind of like a Wild West sort of time period thing. And they're part of this group called the Rainier Group who hunts down the vampires. And this whole story follows the course of essentially one big drawn out adventure that happens between them and a couple of vampire adversaries. Now, this game, the gameplay loop itself, is actually an action RPG, and it has guns, it has bow and arrows, which basically just function as guns. It has like an electric gauntlet. It has the ability to zip between enemies like electricity and stuff like that. And any of those things I've just described can be upgraded through, your typical RPG elements to increase your character's effectiveness and the abilities that they can do. But why have I played this game multiple times if I bought it on a whim, and why am I recommending it to you here today? And the reason why I'm talking about it today is that I think this game personifies very much of what we used to get a lot of during the Xbox 360, PS3 era, but we really honestly don't get very much of anymore. And this is like the B-movie equivalent to a video game. And what I mean by that is like this game is pretty good. The gameplay loop is pretty good. It's addicting, especially once you start like lassoing enemies in and punching them up in the air and then slamming them back down and kiting all these enemies together and doing it all over again. Like the gameplay loop is very satisfying. It's fun to play. The powers, once you've upgraded them, are pretty great, minus the fact that sometimes the controls can get in the way a little bit. But I almost don't even hate that, because the reason why they get in the way is that I think they developed them in such a way to make it so you felt like you were really pulling in those people when you did so. And so if the stick fails every now and then because of that, I'm not necessarily that upset. But B movie in the sense that the plot of this game and the events that you go through and some of the missions are absolutely an afterthought, and they really just don't hold much weight as far as like if somebody asked me exactly what happened in this video game, the only answer I could give them, and I'm not going to spoil like the one or two twists in the game, so I'm going to leave that out, but obviously I'd be able to talk about that. But yeah, it's really just, I would tell them it's just a game where you're fighting as this guy versus vampires, and you're chasing these two vampires through all the shit that they get involved in. And that's it. I mean, that's really all that I retain information-wise from playing this game. But it was fun. And it didn't waste my time. I didn't have to play 70 hours to finish this game. I saw that when I played it on PS5, which I bought it on PlayStation so that I could get the Platinum Trophy for it, and so I'm kind of outing myself as a trophy guy now, and I guess it is what it is, but the reason why I bought it was to be able to get that. But looking at my stats on PSN right now, when I last put in this game, the quick speed run I did where I didn't watch any of the cutscenes and I just blazed through the game because I knew I was going to have to play it again to get all the trophies and things like that. It only took me 4 to 6 hours to complete this. And I want to say when I was doing a proper playthrough on my Steam Deck, getting all of the collectibles and switching between playing on my computer and the deck and stuff like that, I think I maybe put at most 15 to 20 hours in the game, and I had explored almost all the content twice over. And some people may be like, back in the day we used to say, oh my god, Fallout 3 is the greatest game ever, or Fallout New Vegas is the greatest game ever, or Oblivion, or I don't have it up here, but Skyrim. I know I'm just calling out all these Bethesda games, but that's what easily comes to mind, because you're like, oh, well, you can get 300 hours of experience of playing a fun game, playing those games for $60. But the thing is, a lot of games nowadays just drag on. Give me a 12 to 20 hour story that's good, and if you charge me $60 for it, and it's actually, the gameplay is actually fun and it's replayable, where I've ended up playing this game almost 3 times now just because I like the combat. That to me feels like it was well worth my money as well. And then when you look at other games I don't even know where to start because I'm thinking about new games. Well, let's just look at this game that's on the floor. Actually, you guys do not want to see what's going on behind this camera, but this game, Ghostwire Tokyo, I actually disagree with the reviews that say that the game is meh. I feel like the game's actually pretty good, while there may be some issues with the combat system, just with how it ends up playing out, or how clunky it might feel at times. It's this game would have been much better because the concept of the spirit weaving and all that was such a cool concept, that the fact that this game is actually an 80-hour experience versus maybe a 30 or 40-hour experience almost hurts it. And then that's what almost makes this game shine, where you can buy this game, take it home, play it over the weekend, finish it, possibly even platinum it, and then you're done with it. You had a great time, you enjoyed it, you put it on the shelf. If you want to play it again someday, you can, but it doesn't become this nagging thing that you have to eventually complete over time. And it's in that way, I'm talking about video games like they're a chore, but once you get older and you've got a real job and you've got people that you need to spend time with, I say that I don't like spending time with people, but just life gets in the way of being able to sit down and play a video game for an entire day with no interruption like you could have when you were a kid. And so those games that need you to have the ability, the time to get engrossed in them and to really become a part of the world and see a story unfold over 70 hours of gameplay all of a sudden becomes something that takes you weeks to get through. When really it's like, I kind of want to play games nowadays that I can play over the weekend and get everything I need out of it and then move on to the next thing. So that being said, I recommend Evil West. I recommend playing it. I think if I were to rate it out of 5, just for simplicity, I'm going to give this game a strong 3, based on the fact that, I have to reconcile that the plot and everything being so forgettable is definitely a part of this game. But, if you saw this game on sale, or you saw it at a secondhand store, or you were just might be, you look up gameplay of this game and you'd be interested in something like that, like, I would recommend this game 100%. So, yeah, basically, I just wanted to kind of review this game and talk about it because I feel like it would be cool if we could get a lot more of those like 360 PS3 era B-movie games today, especially if they don't waste my time and they know they're going to be a game like that, so they only last 12 to 20 hours and you can get out of there scot-free. It's like, a game that you could basically complete in a renting cycle. Like how you used to be able to go to the store, rent the video game, and return it by Monday. So, regardless, I recommend playing this game. I think everybody should try it out. I had a lot of fun playing it. And when I have another video game that I'm ready to talk about with you guys and bring to your attention, I will do so. So, I will see you guys on the next one. Subscribe down below if you want to subscribe. Like the video, dislike if you dislike. And if you dislike, make sure you leave that feedback as to why you dislike the video. And then if you have played this game, as I'm assuming at least some of you have, let me know what you think. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one.